at the right time. And now, your Call Sam forecast first with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
Almanac from today shows an afternoon high of 93 degrees, a morning low of 71. This does not happen very often where you hit your statistical highs and lows for that time of year on that particular day. Kind of proud of it, even though I had no control over it. Overnight lows will drop into the low 70s tonight. More scattered storms as we work through the day tomorrow, with highs only in the mid to upper 80s. That's your forecast first. Fox 14 News at 9 starts right now.
From Fox 14, the right news at the right time, and the Spirit of Community Award winner. This is Fox 14 News at 9.
A toddler attacked by dogs now fighting for his life. How did this happen? And what do neighbors and officials have to say about it? And a Shreveport toddler is killed. We'll tell you who police say is to blame and the charges they face. Plus, headway in a court battle 5 years in the making. The update on a lawsuit against 5 judges and a law clerk over their handling of a court case. Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Chelsea Jones. Sarah is back on Monday. First on Fox, a toddler mauled by dogs in West Sterlington this afternoon. The dogs being held by police as the investigation continues. Fox 14's Anna McAllister was there for it all. Anna.
Chelsea, Union Parish Sheriff's deputies responded to a call about a missing toddler this afternoon. Soon after, they found the young boy unresponsive in his next-door neighbor's front yard. Officials say he was attacked by the dogs that live there. A horrific scene unraveled at a home on Walker Road in West Sterlington. Union Parish Sheriff's deputies say a toddler was viciously attacked by his next-door neighbor's dogs after straying from his home.
Since I've been here, we've had several dog bites. This is the most serious one that I can remember.
Deputies received a call around 1:30 this afternoon about a missing child. A ground and air search found the young boy unresponsive in his next-door neighbor's front yard. The toddler was airlifted to Ochsner LSU Health in Shreveport in critical condition.
We had never had a tragedy like that in this neighborhood before. I mean, it was just so surprising, and I really was just speechless.
Family members at the scene say the toddler was bitten on his neck and the back of his head. Deputies rounded up the dogs at the residence, taking at least 3 into holding. Walker says he sees these dogs wandering the neighborhood often.
I have a few dogs running loose in this neighborhood, and I always be telling people, you need to get these dogs put up, they get them put up, but it don't do any good.
Deputies are waiting until Monday to determine if the man who owns the dogs will be charged. But Walker believes multiple parties should be held responsible.
The dog owners should have the dog put up, number one. Parents, a young baby like that, they should always know where he is.
Family members of the toddler confirmed that the man who owns the dogs is related to the victim. They also told us that the child is in stable condition and expected to recover. Live in the studio, Anna McAllister, Fox 14 News.
Thanks, Anna. A toddler was shot and killed this morning in Shreveport. The shooting happened shortly after 8:30 on Elmer Street near Cross Lake Boulevard. The Cato Parish Coroner's Office has identified the child as 2-year-old Ronaldo Bennett. Ronaldo was taken to Ochsner LSU Health, where he later died from his injuries.
My heart sank. It's a shock. This doesn't happen in our neighborhood.
19-year-old Jalen Jones was booked into the Shreveport jail for negligent homicide and illegal possession of a firearm by a felon. Detectives say Jones lived inside the home with that toddler. Well, a victory for a Monroe man who spent 5 years trying to sue 5 judges and a law clerk. The Louisiana Supreme Court has ruled he can. Our Fox 14's Maya Hudgens has the latest on what's become a complicated battle involving 2 cases.
In July of 2015, Stanley Pulowski III filed a lawsuit against law clerk Allison Campbell. He says Campbell concealed or destroyed court documents he filed in a different lawsuit against his former business partner. Pulowski has also tried to sue 5 4th District Court judges, including Fred Amon, Wilson Rambo, Carl Sharp, Stevens Winters, and retired Judge Benjamin Jones. He claims they know about Campbell's alleged activities and worked with her to cover up the acts. Last spring, the First Circuit Court ruled Pulowski could sue Campbell for civil damages. However, at that time, judges were granted immunity. On Wednesday, the Louisiana Supreme Court ruled in Pulowski's favor. They're allowing his lawsuit to continue against the 5 judges and the law clerk. Campbell's attorney, Brian Crawford, says she is reviewing the ruling. He also says she will make a decision about her next legal steps soon. In Monroe, Maya Hudgens, Fox 14 News.
Fox 14 News reached out to the judges and Stanley Pulowski's attorneys. So far, we haven't heard back from them. At this time, the 5 judges and Campbell have not been granted immunity. To see our full story and the coverage from the Citizen, you can head to our website, myarklamis.com. Well, 3 people are behind bars accused of trying to get marijuana through the mail. State police have arrested Lentarius Smith, Lamartris Alexander, and Aaliyah Towns. According to the arrest report, 2 packages of high-grade marijuana were shipped to Monroe by a private delivery service. Officers delivered the package in order to catch up whoever picked up the packages. Police say Smith and Alexander showed up. They then say Smith tried to run but was arrested after a short chase. A short time later, Town came by the house and they say she admitted to calling Smith and telling them the package was delivered. All 3 face conspiracy to sell marijuana, and Smith also faces possession and resisting arrest. A Wisner woman has been arrested for allegedly setting a fire to her car on purpose. Holly Johnson was booked into the Franklin Parish Detention Center for 1 count of arson with intent to defraud. The incident took place in the 500 block of Tom Kerrigan Road. Crews were called after Johnson reportedly put out the fire on her own. She suffered burns to her hands in the process. Investigators evaluated the scene and spoke to witnesses, and they determined that the fire was set on purpose, and detectives say Johnson was struggling to pay for that vehicle. Well, millions of BP dollars will go towards fixing Louisiana roads. Governor John Bel Edwards has signed a bill to allocate $700 million in oil spill recovery money to road, bridge, and port projects. It's one of the last outstanding bills signed by Governor Edwards from the legislative session. Louisiana is receiving yearly payments of $53.3 million through 2034 from BP. It's compensation for economic damage from the massive 2010 Gulf oil spill. The payments are separate from recovery money slated for coastal restoration, and lawmakers previously had earmarked the money for trust funds. A health alert to pass along to you. 2 mosquito pools in Ouachita Parish have tested positive for West Nile. The pools that have been tested were located near Bernstein Park and the zoo in the Prairie Road area. They were collected June 19th through the 21st, and the affected areas will be treated by truck tonight and on Monday. People living in and around affected areas are urged to take precautions when outdoors. Well, if summer vacation means a road trip, now know that Louisiana will be changing the rules with how your children ride. Fox 14's Isabel Albritton has more on the enhancement to safety seat laws.
Louisiana State Police are taking extra cautions when it comes to children in vehicles. One local woman says she always makes sure her younger sister is in her booster seat and buckled up before going anywhere in her vehicle.
Just in case something happens so they won't get hurt, like a wreck or anything, because I'd really be upset if something bad happened to them.
New guidelines by the American Academy of Pediatricians now requires children 2 years or younger to be in a rear-facing car seat. Children older than 2 but younger than 4 must ride in a forward-facing seat with an internal harness. The new law also states that children 4 to 9 years old must use a booster seat as well as ride in a rear seat until they turn 13. Lawson says the distance of a drive should not matter, even if it's just a trip down the street.
They should use it just in case. Even though they think it's safe not to wear it, I think they should wear it anyway.
The purpose of these changes is to better prevent injuries and maximize the benefits of child safety and seatbelts. In West Monroe, Isabel Albritton, Fox 14 News.
The new changes will go into effect on August 1st. Well, new at 9, Ouachita Live, the annual 9-month concert series, continue tonight. And our very own morning anchor, Bodie Brooks, had the honor of emceeing that event. Every last Friday of the month through October, a concert is held showcasing different musical acts. It's hosted by the Downtown West Monroe Revitalization Group and the Northeast Louisiana Arts Council. It's all an effort to unite the entire parish through music. And tonight's guest, Emerald Accent. And next month, Horace Train and the Ocean Express will be performing. Well, coming up on Fox 14, Magnolia's mayor is on a mission to make the town beautiful. But residents may end up footing the bill. Exactly how much would they have to fork over for overgrown grass and unsightly property? We'll have that coming up. And light up the night without the risk. We've got you covered on all the happenings this 4th of July weekend. That and more on Fox 14 News at 9.
News sponsored by Twin City Outdoor Equipment.
Summer weather in the ArkLaMiss can be unpredictable and sometimes dangerous. It can run the gamut, from oppressive heat and humidity to tropical systems to afternoon thunderstorms producing large hail and sudden damaging winds. Thanks to our exclusive live storm tracker Doppler radar, Fox 14 can give you the 6-minute advantage. A 6-minute advance notice that no other area station can, and 6 minutes could save your life.
Fox 14 Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd and live storm tracker Doppler radar, keeping your family safe.
Celebrate savings. It's the Jeep Celebration event at Interstate. A Jeep Cherokee is $19,990. A Jeep Compass $18,990. And the all-new Jeep Gladiator is here. This is a must-see because the vehicle's amazing. At Interstate Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in West Monroe.
It's the Honda 4th of July sales event, and it's your chance to get a new Honda vehicle that can pack all of life's best adventures. Yep, time to start checking off that bucket list. Selfies over at Niagara Falls? Check. Gateway Arch? Check. Being awarded by KBB.com as 2019's best overall brand? Check. So pop into your Honda dealer today for great deals on some of our most popular vehicles at the Honda 4th of July sales event.
The holiday weekend is here, and we're helping you celebrate at the Nissan July 4th sales event. Save big on our lineup with advanced tech, like Rogue, Best Buy Award winner, Armada, Best Full-Size SUV crossover, and Altima, an IIHS top safety pick. Hurry, because like the July 4th holiday, this sales event ends soon. For a limited time, save up to $3,500 or get a low $199 per month lease on the 2019 Rogue.
From the start, the C-Class was ahead of its time. Still, we never stopped making it stronger, faster, smarter. Because to be the best is to never, ever stop making it better. The 2019 C-Class family. Lease the C300 sedan for just $419 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
It's Dodge Performance Days at Interstate. A Charger, $22,990. A Chrysler 300, $22,990. A Fiat Pop, $12,990. Believe it, folks, $12,990 at Interstate Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in West Monroe.
News, weather, and sports. Follow us on the KTVE NBC 10 KARD Fox 14 Facebook page. Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
Magnolia's mayor is on a mission to beautify the town and its neighborhoods. Fox 14's Gabrielle Pfeiffer says that goal may cost some homeowners a pretty penny.
It's the time of the year when the grass is growing wild and the lawnmowers seem to be continually running, but some homeowners aren't cranking up their mowers, and town officials are taking notice.
We're looking at assessing a fine
that could range between $200 and $500. It's a price that some will have to pay for their overgrown grass and overall unsightly property.
I'm not asking every yard in the town to look like the White House.
They are asking homeowners and property managers to maintain their lots. Otherwise, it could look something like this. And the main culprits are those who don't even live in the offending homes.
They don't live here, they don't drive by it on a regular basis, and if they just continue to either let the structure deteriorate, which eventually will fall down, or the overgrowth of vegetation.
These unsightly yards deter visitors from the neighborhoods and drive in unwanted pests.
It's that serious. To keep down on rodents, to keep down on mosquitoes, to keep down on trash.
The ordinance currently in place allows violators to take action on their lots within 20 days. The new ordinance will now give them 7. Reporting in Magnolia, Gabrielle Pfeiffer, Fox 14 News.
The City Council will determine the exact fine and the height that constitutes a violation. They'll determine that at the next council meeting, which is slated for next month. Well, bombs bursting in air as 4th of July weekend kicks off here in the ArkLaMiss. There's a packed list of celebrations, so here we go. Tomorrow in Grant Parish, they'll be having a block party starting at 5 p.m. at Georgetown Park. On Wednesday, El Dorado will host its pre-4th of July celebration at the Matt Amphitheater from 8 a.m. till noon. And on Independence Day, Monroe is celebrating its 100th anniversary of the American Legion. That's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now here in West Monroe, the Blue Star Memorial Gardens flag raising and dedication will be from 9 a.m. until 10 a.m. And you can go to our website, myarklamiss.com, to get the full list of all the 4th of July celebrations happening in your area. Wow, so what's the weather look like for our 4th of July?
Well, we're going to have some scattered showers and thunderstorms as we go into this upcoming weekend. But as we go into 4th of July itself, next Thursday, well, the heat and humidity really return. Do have some storms out there at this hour. We'll take a look at those next on Fox.
And also coming up on Fox 14, this one's for my jet setters out there. Do you know how much airlines are making from your money? Well, it's not in the tickets, but I'll have that for you later. Keep it right here.
I'm David Owens. Time for the Honey Hole Insider. Well, summertime's here. We've had some really hot days, but overall it's been pretty mild, pretty good. But the fishing's been really good. That river is heating up, getting better and better every day as the water goes down. It's about 10 foot down from where it was, but just keeps getting better. They're catching some big brim in the backwaters along with a lot of bass, and I had some fun yesterday. I caught some white perch in a river lake that's fallen out, got underneath those cypress limbs with that jig, tipped it with a Berkley power bait, crappie nibble, don't forget that, boy. I caught some really nice ones. They're good and thick, and all the river fish look real healthy. Catfishing's been pretty good at Poverty Point, D'Arbonne. White perch fishing as well, been good. D'Arbonne's been all right. Below the spillway at D'Arbonne's been good. Like I said, river lakes, catch them around the buttonwillows and the cypress trees. There's a lot of good fishing out there at a lot of area lakes. If I don't talk about the one you want to go fish, call us up at the Honey Hole and we'll let you know. But anyway, we got really good fishing. It's a great time of year to get up real early and catch them on the topwater. My personal favorite's a little popper. So come by the Honey Hole. We got a complete line of Berkley baits and Berkley products. Come see us or call us, 318-323-8707. Thanks. Happy fishing.
It's the sizzling summer sale at Bobby Williamson Home Improvement.
Wood-look ceramic tile, $149. Waterproof vinyl plank, $239 or $269. 18 by 18 porcelain tile, just 99 cents.
All with 12-month no-interest financing at Bobby Williamson.
Few people are as important in our children's lives as their teachers. That's why Governor Edwards worked with Republicans and Democrats to pass Louisiana's first teacher pay raise in a decade. This investment in our children's future is proof of what's possible when we turn a budget deficit into a budget surplus. Contact Governor Edwards and tell him to keep fighting for education. Because when we invest in our teachers and schools, our students succeed.
Rain, snow, sleet, or shine. Click on the myarklamiss.com weather bug for weather at your fingertips. Meet the Weather Bug, sponsored by Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys.
The Animal House is your local pet store, Cypress Street, West Monroe.
The summer buyback has begun at Ryan Chevrolet. We're paying top dollar for every trade, every make, every model. Plus, get special summer savings on every new Ryan Chevy in stock, like $10,000 off select new 2019 Silverado Crew Cabs, $10,000 off Silverado Crew Cabs, or get 0 APR for 72 months. Buy the new 2019 Equinox for $23,895. Ryan Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy truck dealer in Northeast Louisiana. RyanChevy.com. Where can you find the largest pre-owned inventory in Northeast Louisiana? RyanAutomotive.com. Where can you buy a high-quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV with low upfront, no-hassle pricing? RyanAutomotive.com. Ryan Automotive is your pre-owned headquarters. Hundreds in stock, thousands in savings. Pre-owned vehicles for every lifestyle, every budget. Ruston to Rayville, Fast Drop to Columbia. Come see why more used car shoppers are buying at Ryan. Ryan Automotive in Monroe. RyanAutomotive.com. Ryan Automotive, your pre-owned headquarters.
Hey, how was your week? My in-laws were in town. I got a standing desk. I tried quinoa.
I took the dog to the groomer.
Make your weekends more exciting than the days before them.
We drove 3 hours to the kids' swim meet.
Right now, get $1,000 customer cash, plus a $1,000 special edition bonus on a new 2019 Tacoma Special Edition. Toyota, let's go places.
Get the 6-minute advantage with the live Storm Tracker Doppler radar on Fox 14, keeping you and your family safe. Brought to you by E. Oram Young Law, the bankruptcy specialist.
It's the sizzling summer sale at Bobby Williamson Home Improvement.
Hardwood flooring starting at $2.99. Carpet starting at just 88 cents. Vinyl plank is just $1.19.
All with 12-month no-interest financing at Bobby Williamson.
If you're going to make one call, make it count. Call Creed & Creed today.
Live Storm Tracker Doppler Radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. Now, Storm Tracker weather with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
Look at the new live Storm Tracker Doppler Radar brought to you by E. Orem Young. Last of the storms are moving through southeastern Arkansas. Even had a severe thunderstorm warning with some of this activity a little bit earlier this evening. Now most of it just kind of congealing into one kind of glob of thunderstorms. Not really a whole lot of organization with a lot of this activity. Generally from Wilmot along Highway 165 up toward the Portland and Montrose areas. Again, staying on 165. Then splitting Highway 82 from, say, Montrose over to Hamburg. A lot of this activity is producing some brief heavy downpours. Maybe some small hail. I would say no more than maybe dime or penny sized, but also maybe some 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts with some of this activity as it continues to travel off generally to the south, maybe the south-southeast. Also, again, with some of this, you're seeing some very isolated stuff starting to spill into northeastern sections of Louisiana, West Carroll Parish, into portions of even northern Richland Parish, seeing some of that activity already kind of raining itself out. Really, that's all we have to work with in terms of rainfall across the region after, again, a slew of severe thunderstorm warnings that were needed for one storm that moved into southern Arkansas and then eventually into North Louisiana earlier this afternoon. Even triggered a flash flood warning because that storm started over portions of Bradley and Calhoun counties and did not move very quickly at its onset. Now, most of this is outflow-driven thunderstorms, basically branching off from some rain-cooled air that moved through the area earlier in the day, but it's also getting a little help from a weak trough of low pressure, which is retrograding, basically drifting back out to the west. And with the weak upper-level winds, that's kind of helping out with that demeanor, or with that manner. But either way, as that trough continues to drift back to the west, eventually it washes out and the rain chances draw to a close. But in the meantime, we're going to continue to deal with at least scattered showers and storms through the rest of the weekend. So the surface map doesn't really show a whole lot because what we're seeing that's developing the rain and helping to really spur it on through the course of the afternoon is happening in the upper levels of the atmosphere. But we still have a lot of that warm Gulf air that's streaming in every day. A very wide envelope of Gulf moisture across the deep south. So really all you need is something to take advantage of it or just enough daytime heating to bubble some of that up in the form of rainfall. And that's expected again tomorrow. A lot of rain-cooled air from the storms earlier in the daytime hours. Most spots in the low to mid-70s. Much warmer to the west where the rain has really held off through the day. We'll look for lows tonight in the low 70s. Clouds continue. Some lingering showers and a light southwesterly breeze. High temperatures tomorrow back in the mid to upper 80s. Again, obviously the clouds and the rain have the final say on things to the afternoon. Any storm that develops has the potential of maybe becoming an isolated severe storm. Damaging winds and hail would be the primary concerns with any storms that can get going. Look at the rest of the forecast. Some lingering stuff for Sunday. First part of next week, we're clearing out and we're warming up. As the rain chances drop from 20 down to about 10%, pretty much each day, we'll look for highs to climb back into the mid-90s. Morning lows will stay in the low 70s. Heat index values back into the triple digits. And again, that comes with a lot of heat safety tips. And basically, it's the common sense stuff. Light-colored, loose-fitting clothing. If you start feeling woozy, try to make your way inside. Avoid the sugary drinks, lots of water, and just kind of, like I said, common sense over the next couple of days.
Everything you need to know. Thanks, Jared.
You bet.
Coming up on Fox 14, they're a lot of kids' favorite sweet treat, but now Pop-Tarts is unveiling a new flavor just in time for summer. Well, I'm not sure, but you see that on your screen. How do you feel about ranch flavored Pop-Tarts? We'll talk about it. And one of the most iconic first ladies in history, Jackie O's Martha Vineyard estate is up for sale. How much is it going for? We'll let you know. Coming up.
I am Lucy with Toast by Groves and Bath Planet, and we are the bathroom remodeling experts. Visit MyRacleMist.com. Go to Ask the Experts.
The holiday weekend is here, and we're helping you celebrate at the Nissan July 4th sales event. Save big on our lineup with advanced tech, like Rogue, Best Buy Award winner, Armada, Best Full-Size SUV crossover, and Altima, an IIHS top safety pick. Hurry, because like the July 4th holiday, this sales event ends soon. For a limited time, save up to $3,500 or get a low $199 per month lease on the 2019 Rogue.
Save 3 ways at Ryan Honda in Monroe. 1, our lowest below market price. 2, low financing rates. 3, the max for your trade. Shop over 200 vehicles in stock. New Accords just $179 a month. $179 a month for Accords. New Pilots $279 a month. Or save with 1.9 APR for 60 months. Come see why so many people are buying at Ryan. Ryan Honda. Your Honda, your way. RyanHondaMonroe.com.
The summer buyback has begun at Ryan Chevrolet. We're paying top dollar for every trade, every make, every model. Plus, get special summer savings on every new Ryan Chevy in stock. Like $10,000 off select new 2019 Silverado Crew Cabs, $10,000 off Silverado Crew Cabs, or get 0 APR for 72 months. Buy the new 2019 Equinox for $23,895. Ryan Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy truck dealer in Northeast Louisiana. RyanChevy.com.
If it's cooking for the family or cooking for a living, J. Russell Kitchen and Restaurant Supply has what you need. Anything from heavy appliances down to utensils and aprons. It's all here at J. Russell Kitchen and Restaurant Supply. Now open Saturdays 10 to 2.
Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
The best room temperature for sleeping is said to be between 60 and 67 degrees. But in the summer months, that can be tricky. In today's Health Minute, Meredith Woods gives you tips on how to beat the heat while you sleep.
When it feels like an inferno outside, it can be hard to get it totally cooled down inside. And that warm air can be even more annoying when you're trying to get some sleep. So just how do you get comfortable and have a good night's rest in the warm weather? The National Sleep Foundation has 5 tips for getting your best Z's this summer. Keep the air moving. If you don't have air conditioning, open the windows and turn on a fan to get some circulation. Step it up by putting a bowl of ice in front of the fan for some added cooling. Shower before bedtime. This will help your body cool down and leave a little moisture on your skin, making the effects of the fan even more pronounced. Sleep in breathable fabrics. Avoid fabrics like silk that trap sweat. Opt for natural, breathable fabrics like cotton instead. Block out the sun's rays. Keeping the room darker will naturally keep it cooler. Finally, try not to let all that summer fun throw off your sleeping habits and avoid excessive drinking. Make sure you still get the amount of sleep you need, even if the sun is still shining outside. For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
That's some good tips for you, but on to some consumer news tonight. This is a warning for people with babies. You may want to check their sleepers. Fisher-Price is recalling 71,000 incline sleeper accessories. They come in ultra-light day and night play yards. The company says no injuries have been reported, but there's a safety concern that babies can roll over from their backs to their stomachs on incline products. In the voluntary recall issued Thursday, Fisher-Price notes that the play yards themselves are safe to use. This comes nearly 2 months after the toy maker pulled millions of baby sleepers from the market due to multiple reports of infant deaths. Now that it's time for fresh summer salads and breakfast food on the run, a fan has an idea for combining 2. And one company is struggling to play along. We'll see which one. A Twitter user posted this photo of a wild food combination: Kellogg's Pop-Tarts and Hidden Valley Ranch dressing. The fan believes that you can put ranch on anything. They say, why not add it to a Pop-Tart? Hidden Valley Ranch went along with the fun and agreed, saying it's time to give the people what they want. But Pop-Tart says it's a no for them dog. It tweets saying, LOL, no. Now, fans didn't give up too easy, coming up with new combos such as Pop-Tart Caesar salad and Pop-Tart orange juice and toothpaste, complete with picture ideas. Kind of disgusting. Well, baggage fees continue to be a big moneymaker for airlines. U.S. Airlines raked in $1.3 billion in baggage fees this first quarter. It's compared to the $1.1 billion for the same period last year. That's according to the Department of Transportation data. Now, airline baggage fees have been on the rise for 4 U.S. major airlines, increasing fees late last year. American Airlines made the most money off of baggage fees, and Southwest made the least. Well, Jackie Kennedy, her Martha's Vineyard estate is up for sale. The 340-acre property is known as the Red Gate Farm. Her daughter, Caroline Kennedy, put it on the market for $65 million. It features an outdoor pool, a tennis court, a boathouse, and a private beach, and more than a mile long. I'm sorry. There is even a fairy tree house that Jackie built for her grandkids, and she originally bought this oceanfront property in 1978 for only $1 million. Well, thousands of fireworks have been recalled after an accident caused a boy to lose his hand. Grandma's Fireworks in Indiana are pulling 18 products from the shelves. That's 25,000 individual fireworks. The products included names like Rise to the East, Angry Elf, and Crazy Robot Flowers. The fireworks are apparently overloaded with pyrotechnics, which can cause bigger than expected explosions. In March, a 12-year-old lost his hand after using the broken end after a broken end of the rocket exploded, and another boy sustained minor injuries in that accident. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says anyone who purchased the fireworks should immediately stop using them, return them for a full refund. And all of those recalled products are listed on the Commission's website. Well, your money hasn't done this for you in over 80 years. Fox Business reporter Connell McShane has these stories and more in tonight's Fox Means Business Report.
Well, what a month for your money as stocks rocketed higher in June on hopes of lower interest rates and a trade deal with China. The Dow actually posted its best June performance since 1938. And here's something drivers have not been seeing lately: higher gas prices. The national average for regular unleaded rising slightly this week, a gallon now costing $2.71 on average, and still about 15 cents lower than last year at this time. This might have something to do with that pain at the pump. A recent surge in oil prices, up over 9% in the month of June, a barrel now costing over $58. Meantime, you're making more and spending more. Personal income rising 0.5% in May. That's above expectations, and that has helped consumers to boost their spending, shelling out more cash at restaurants and hotels. That's business. I'm Connell McShane.
Still to come on Fox 14, he ran his car into a crowd of people in Charlottesville. This happened almost 2 years ago. Now James Field Jr. is facing the music, his sentence coming up. And the latest after 2 rounds of debate from Democratic presidential candidates. We take you to Florida. After the break, keep it right here on Fox 14.
No. 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 Maybe. Yes. Yes.
Low rates, no commissioned agents, lowest down payment, and we won't sell you expensive add-ons.
Go Auto is my perfect match. Greg can really save me money.
Greg really is the Go Auto guy.
Give us a call and speak to one of our non-commissioned agents. Visit our website or stop by one of our convenience stores and start saving today.
News sponsored by Willis Knighton, home of the healthcare heroes.
For 50 years, Cracker Barrel has been cooking home-style favorites to perfection. We thought we'd celebrate by making our golden anniversary extra golden. Introducing new, crispy, juicy Southern Fried Chicken. Now at Cracker Barrel.
Just one drop. Oh! Gorilla Super Glue Micro Precise. Of course.
Precise application, controlled dispensing with Gorilla Strength. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
When I got hurt in a car wreck, I called Creed & Creed because they're local, really local. They fought for me and they'll fight for you, even on the weekend. Creed & Creed is all you need.
If you're going to make one call, make it count. Call Creed & Creed today.
Meteorologist Lexi Birmingham. Weekdays on Fox 14, your morning news. OSAM forecast first with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
Some scattered storms across southeastern Arkansas, 74 degrees at the Monroe Airport. Winds are calm, and as we head through the overnight, we will continue to keep an eye on those stray showers and storms. They will rain themselves out for most of the area through the overnight time frame, but we'll keep a small rain chance in overnight anyway. Lows, afternoon highs tomorrow, back in the mid to upper 80s with more scattered storms through the course of the afternoon. That's your forecast first for this half hour. Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Chelsea Jones in for Sarah Scarlett. Topping our second half hour on Fox, the man convicted of a hate crime killing. He drove his car into a crowd of protesters during the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. He's been sentenced, and Reed Binion has the latest.
That Nazi was thrown into people. Terrifying moments on August 12, 2017, when a day of violent clashes between white supremacists and counter-protesters in Charlottesville, Virginia, turned deadly. Now the man behind that wheel, 22-year-old James Fields Jr., has been sentenced to life in prison in his federal hate crime case.
The defendant committed an act of disgraceful white supremacist violence. He killed Heather Heyer
He could have killed many others.
Fields pleaded guilty to 29 federal hate crimes in March, part of an agreement that eliminated the death penalty in his case. Before his sentencing, Fields addressed the judge and said, quote, "I apologize to my mother for putting her through all of this. Every day I think about my actions and how this could have gone differently. I'm sorry."
That was a last-ditch attempt to get a reduced sentence. He's the least sincere person I've ever met.
Heather Heyer's mother, Susan Bro, reacting to Fields' sentencing.
The last time I saw my daughter was to identify her body and to sign the papers for her to be cremated. And I held her bruised hand and bruised arm, and I said, "I'm going to make this count for you." And that's what I've done.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Well, Houston police are saying that 4-year-old Malia Davis died from homicidal violence. The 4-year-old was reported missing May 4th by her stepfather, Darion Vince. He was arrested 7 days later on a charge of tampering with evidence. According to the Houston community activist Quanell X, Vince confessed to him that he dumped Malia's body in Arkansas and that her death was a result of an accident. Her remains were found off an Arkansas highway, though, last month.
We're proceeding this case to every path it needs to go. We're leaving no stone unturned, and at the end of the day, our hope and prayer is that we will charge the person or persons responsible for her death with the appropriate charges.
Houston police say they're hopeful that they'll have suspects and new charges from the DA's office in the coming weeks. Well, across the nation, weather conditions are feeling a lot like summer. Earlier today in Minnesota, some areas were hit with severe thunderstorms. Heavy rainfall caused flash flooding in several neighborhoods. The water blocked many roads in and out of the Cassone, and some residents saw their homes and businesses completely flooded. Now, several water rescues were made according to the fire chief, but so far, no reports of injuries or accident caused by the flooding. Well, on the opposite side of the globe, many parts of Europe are experiencing scorching heat weather, or heat wave, I should say. A teenager died on Friday after suffering a heat stroke in Spain. Firefighters there are battling a major wildfire that possibly started after a heap of manure self-ignited amid the intense heat. Now, around 10,000 acres of forest and other vegetation were affected by the blaze near Tarragona in the country's northeast, and in France, 4,000 schools were closed because of this heat. Well, the Democratic frontrunner Joe Biden was in damage control mode today as many bashed him for his performance at Thursday night's debate. Meanwhile, California Senator and presidential hopeful Kamala Harris is backing the praise she received at the debate. Fox News correspondent Peter Ducey has the story.
Kamala Harris walked off the stage and climbed onto a step ladder.
I see young girls who are being led in a single file into a tent.
Harris joined Pete Buttigieg, Julian Castro, Kirsten Gillibrand, and John Hickenlooper at the Homestead Temporary Shelter for Unaccompanied Children in Florida.
There's so much more that we agree on than disagree, and this is certainly one of them.
They also all agreed on benefits for border crossers.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
There wasn't always such broad agreement.
America does not want to witness a food fight. They want to know how we're going to put food on their table.
Especially when Harris confronted the frontrunner for speaking about civility with segregationist senators.
You also worked with them to oppose busing. And, you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
If we want to have this campaign litigated on who supports civil rights and whether I did or not, I'm happy to do that.
That attack was something that appears to have been in the works since last week.
You're going to bring it up?
Well, if I see him, I might, yeah.
Biden traveled from Miami to Chicago for a pre-scheduled speech to civil rights activists.
I heard and I listened to and I respect Senator Harris. But, you know, we all know that 30 seconds to 60 seconds on a campaign debate exchange can't do justice.
Biden stood beside Bernie Sanders last night, who explained that his signature Medicare for All means more middle-class taxes.
Yes, they will pay more in taxes, but less in health care.
Candidates also wanted Pete Buttigieg to come clean about a deadly police shooting.
The officer said he was attacked with a knife, but he didn't have his body camera on. It's a mess.
You're the mayor. You should fire the chief if that's the policy and someone died.
But with debate one done, the focus is away from South Bend and on southern border crossers.
Is there a difference the way that you see the children versus the parents?
Of course. I mean, in terms of they are children.
Well, Senate Republicans tallied enough votes Friday morning to block an effort to restrict President Trump's ability to go to war with Iran. Senators voted 50-40 on the proposal to block the president from using funding to carry out military action without congressional authorization. The measure needed 60 votes to pass amid escalating tensions between the Trump administration and Tehran. Trump tweeted earlier this week that, quote, any subsequent attack Iran might carry out on anything American would be met with great and overwhelming force in some areas. Overwhelming will mean obliteration. But, well, that Senate blocked that possibility today. Now switching gears to weather. Hot, rainy, right?
Yes, a little bit of over the next couple of days, and really probably for the next week, quite frankly. And we do have some storms out there even at this hour. Most of them still hanging on. Forecast next on Fox.
We are the believers, we are the hope keepers, living to make a difference. And there's nowhere like this, no, there's nowhere like this. And the love, nothing left of Fox 14. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. But I love, nothing left of yes, the art this is where I want to be.
The 4th of July sales event is here. So if you want low financing and big cash back on America's best-selling truck, get a Ford. Want to save more on the truck that hauls more than anyone else? Get a Ford. Want the only adventure gear built Ford tough? Get a Ford. Want the best deals of the season? Get to the 4th of July sales event. Get 0 for 72 plus $2,500 in total savings on F-150, plus $750 appreciation cash for military and first responders.
Some things are simple. Bankruptcy is not one of them. But there is help. If you follow these steps, A, allow yourself to seek help from a knowledgeable attorney. James Spivey is an experienced attorney to assist you with creditors, avoiding foreclosure and representing you in bankruptcy if needed. B, begin a new chapter of your life, and for legal advice with your personal or business finances, C, call James Spivey now.
Bankruptcy's not the end, it's a new beginning.
Make it full speed ahead for the Auto Racing Challenge. Visit myarclymist.com and pick your top 10 drivers each week. Each week, the winner gets a prize pack worth $100. The grand prize winner gets a $100 gift card and a prize pack worth $100. Enter today.
At Clayton Homes, we'll find you the right home for the right price. We have several models of homes to choose from, or we can custom build to meet your needs. We offer excellent financing and award-winning service.
Hi, I'm Clay Knox. Come by Clayton Homes today and let us help put you and your family in your perfect home.
Attention! If you've been exposed to Monsanto Roundup Weed Killer, your health could be at serious risk. Studies have linked Roundup Weed Killer to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and other forms of cancer. If you use Roundup Weed Killer as a farmer, commercial landscaper, or residential gardener and have been diagnosed with cancer, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Millions of dollars have already been awarded. Call attorney Bobby Manning for more information and a free case evaluation. Don't delay. Call today.
The holiday weekend is here, and we're helping you celebrate at the Nissan July 4th sales event. Save big on our lineup with advanced tech, like Rogue, Best Buy Award winner, Armada, Best Full-Size SUV crossover, and Altima, an IIHS top safety pick. Hurry, because like the July 4th holiday, this sales event ends soon. For a limited time, save up to $3,500 or get a low $199 per month lease on the 2019 Rogue.
Storm Tracker Doppler Radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. Now, Storm Tracker weather with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
Another look at the new live Storm Tracker Doppler Radar brought to you by E. Orem Young. Starting to see some of those storms crawl now even farther into northeastern sections of Louisiana. Most of this now moving into Morehouse Parish and West Carroll Parish, but the lion's share of the heaviest rainfall continues to be across eastern sections of Ashley County. It really even stretches northward just to the southwest of Monticello down Highway 425 to near the Fountain Hill area, and then it kind of juts back off to the south and east, Highway 82 just east of Hamburg, and then points southward 165 over to 425. Again, some of the heaviest downpours in these areas too. Again, Parkdale, Wilmot, all along 165. Wouldn't be surprised to see some small hail with some of this activity, although that's becoming a little bit less of a likelihood at this point. And then you can see also some intense rain rates from Oak Grove back to the northwest toward the Morehouse West Carroll Parish line. Bonita, Collinston, eventually perhaps Marouge and Bastrop could also get in on some of this rainfall before it rains itself out over the next few hours. Still a fairly high amount of moisture in an untapped atmosphere from earlier in the day, but the only kicker is there's a lot of rain-cooled air out there, so there's not a lot of instability for a lot of this to kind of branch additional activity off of, but there is still plenty of moisture, and while that's there, we could still see some additional scattered showers and storms, at least through the early part of the night. Most of the rainfall starting to shrink down in coverage and intensity as we lose the daytime heating, which is one of the very important ingredients that's helped to fuel a lot of these thunderstorms. As the weak trough that sits in our general area drifts back to the west tomorrow and eventually just kind of washes out over the area, it will bring a possibility of more scattered storms through the day tomorrow and perhaps into Sunday. By the first of next week, though, the skies start to clear and temperatures start to climb. Not a whole lot happening at the surface right now. We have high pressure off to our east and high pressure aloft. We have that weak trough that's interacting in the upper levels of the atmosphere, too. So basically, a lot of the culprits that's driving the rain chances over the last couple of days and into the weekend happening in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Obviously, the moisture that's transported in from the Gulf of Mexico happening at the surface. So it's taking all levels of our atmosphere above us to generate a lot of this rainfall. Low 70s as you move toward the Mississippi Valley, low 80s as you move even farther westward. Everyone's sandwiched in somewhere in between. A lot of this is rain-cooled air from earlier in the day. We've spent the last several hours in the low to mid 70s, and we'll stay there for the rest of the night. If you haven't gotten there yet, you'll join the rest of us as we head through the overnight time frame. A light southwesterly breeze hangs with us. High temperatures tomorrow back in the mid to upper 80s. More scattered storms expected. Warm and humid with, again, winds starting the day out of the south, but then they'll kind of veer all over the place through the course of the day as the rain starts to develop. More lingering storms for Sunday, and then the rain is, for the most part, out of the forecast as we head into the first of next week. Highs will stay in the low to mid 90s. Morning lows generally in the low end of the 70s. So again, basically you keep the sunscreen, the umbrella, the bottle of water, and the bug spray all handy with you this weekend. You may need them all at different times during the weekend. Again, not everyone will see rain every day, but be kind of on the lookout and have a plan in place to move things indoors just in case things get a little haywire this weekend.
Well, thanks, Jared. When we come back, the MLB All-Star Game starters have been announced, and one former LSU Tiger is getting the honor for the first time. Plus, the NFL hands down a one-game suspension to a Saints defensive lineman. Spencer Tillis will have those details in sports. You're watching Fox 14 News at 9.
These are some of the results I've gotten some of my clients. Now, I can't guarantee you this kind of money on your case, but when you call me, I'll fight to help make sure you get everything you deserve for your injuries. Call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon and get it done.
At Aaron's, we believe good people are all around us. Like those who see a need and step up, or those who give everything no matter what. So why are there stores that make it so hard for some good people to get what they need? At Aaron's, we are different. We make it easy. Your credit isn't the best? That's fine. Need more time to pay? Let's work it out. Lease to own top brands. Delivery's free. Because good people always deserve better. Aaron's. Easy, beautiful, affordable.
When left untreated, hearing loss has been linked to depression, increased risk of falls, social isolation, and most worrisome, dementia. Hi, I'm here to tell you there's an easy solution that may help decrease the risk of these life-limiting issues. They're called hearing aids. Schedule an appointment today to have your hearing tested and try the latest hearing technology for yourself.
Call Audibel today and set up your hearing evaluation.
It's a difference you can see and taste. Everyday tap water versus water filtered through the new Chief Water Purification System. Installed at your home or business, this system removes chlorine, chemicals, bad taste, and odors from your municipal water source. No more rain buildup around bathtubs. This system will extend the life of your washing machine, dishwasher, and hot water heater. No replacement filters, just a water hose to backflush the filter to keep it clean. It's a clear choice. Call your local distributor at Ken's Coffee Service today.
Williams Orthodontics. We fix ugly teeth. We are introducing 7 and Up, a campaign to promote timely visits to the orthodontist to minimize future orthodontic and dental problems. At 7 years and up, we can identify potential problems that may need to be addressed. While your child's dental development may seem normal, serious underlying issues can be identified by a trained orthodontist. Williams Orthodontics, Monroe and El Dorado.
The Planet Fitness Teen Summer Challenge is on. Now through September 1st, teens ages 15 through 18 can work out at Planet Fitness totally free. No catches, no commitments. Come in and use tons of cardio and strength equipment on your own, or sign up for one of our free teen fitness training classes. Plus, enter for the chance to win a $5,000 scholarship and other prizes. Visit any Planet Fitness to sign up for your free summer membership. Check out planetfitness.com to find a club near you.
An average filter inside your home can catch about 8% of what goes through it. A professional grade filter can catch up to 85% of what goes through it. For more tips, visit our quick tips page at jillysac.com.
And now, sports with Spencer Tillis.
Hard to believe, but we're already almost to the midway point of this year's MLB season, and the starters for this year's All-Star game have been announced. A few guys that you might expect to be on the list, they're there almost every single year, like Angels' Mike Trout, the Dodgers' Cody Bellinger, and a few new faces earning starts this year, like the Braves' Ronald Acuna Jr. And Hunter Pence as well, going to represent the AL this year as their DH. Meanwhile, 3 Astros will be getting the call. That group including Michael Brantley, George Springer, and former LSU Tiger Alex Bregman, who will be getting his start in the All-Star game for the first time in his career.
So special. Super thankful to all the Astros fans and all the fans across the country. It's incredible. It's an honor and a dream come true. Something I dreamed about as a kid, and to be able to start this year is really special. No, it's incredible. It's an honor, and go out there every day and try and help this team win games, and I'm just super appreciative to the fans.
I mentioned the Rangers. Well, they were back in action tonight, looking to remain hot on the season as they were on the road over in Tampa. Scoreless here in the top of the second, but not for long. Pair on for Ruffin Odor, and he sends that one inside the first base line, hustles into second, gets a 2 RBI double out of the deal. Same frame. Texas wasn't done just yet. Ronald Guzman this time drives that one to right field. It finds the corner, gives the base runners all kinds of time. 2 more runs would score as they open this thing up. And that was more than enough offense for how good the pitching was all day long. And the Rangers come up with another great road win. They take it 5-0, your final.
Now, it's time for your Go Nation Report, sponsored by Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys.
Welcome into your Go Nation. Football is back in the boot, and the Louisiana football family, the Mannings, are taking over Nicholls State for their 24th annual Manning Passing Academy, where the top college quarterbacks in the nation are in Thibodaux, helping campers work on their fundamentals. There's 8 SEC signal callers, including LSU's Joe Burrow. However, Tiger fans might remember LSU grad transfer Justin McMillan, who transferred to Tulane and took over midway through the season. McMillan says he's number 9's biggest fan.
Me and Joe are very good friends. You know, we played basketball together, and you know, it's no bad blood. Like I said, I wish the best for him in this season. If he makes a bad throw, I'm kicking and screaming on the couch just like his father would. You know, I have a friend. You know, he's a friend. At the end of the day, business can't get in the way of friendship. I feel like me and Joe are good friends, so you know, I'm gonna push him like he's gonna push me. We're gonna compete out here, but you know, it's all smile and it's all fun at the end of the day.
That's it for your Go Nation. I'm Chessa Boucher.
That was your Go Nation Report.
Thanks, Chessa. And sticking with a little football, the NFL handed down a 1-game suspension today. The Saints defensive lineman David Onyema, he was violating the league's substance abuse policy. In February, the 26-year-old was cited after police searched his department and found marijuana and a few other banned items. Shouldn't be that big of a hit to the defense. Last year, he recorded just 4.5 sacks on the season. New Orleans will open up the season on the road. They're going to home rather. They're going to be playing the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, Oak Grove's football team just continues to pump out Division I talent, as this time Burt Hale becomes the latest Tiger to commit to the next level. The 6'4", 315-pound defensive lineman gave his verbal commitment to Skip Holtz and the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs this morning, picking them over a few other great programs he was holding offers from, such as Lamar, ULM, Southern Miss, Nicholls, Troy, and Northwestern. Hale becomes the second lineman from Oak Grove just this summer to commit to the Division I level after Keenan Caldwell committed to Kansas just a few weeks ago. That is going to be it for sports. We'll have another look at your forecast coming up next.
This is the Durabit of the all-new Chevy Silverado.
That is huge.
It offers a built-in 120-volt outlet.
Wow.
Plug that in for me.
Oh, holy smokes.
And the all-new Silverado has more trim levels than any other pickup.
Oh, wow. There's something for all of us. It's time to upgrade.
Get 0% financing for 72 months or get a total value of over $8,700 on this all-new Silverado. See your Super Chevy dealer today.
Hey, that's Greg, the Go Auto guy. Hey, Greg, can you really save us money on our car insurance?
You bet I can. Let's compare rates and get a quote.
Just answer a few simple questions. Call to get a quote, go online, or come into any Go Auto store.
Wow, you can save me money. I want in.
So just give us a call.
Who is that?
Only my new best friend.
Ready, set, go!
El Jarrito Mexican Grill and Cantina. Delicious Mexican cuisine made fresh daily and served up for you in a fun and friendly atmosphere. Get a taste of traditional Mexican items like fajitas, quesadillas, tacos, or burritos. Fill your craving with a steak and shrimp or lobster meal, a juicy T-bone or ribeye, all grilled to perfection over a pecan wood fire. Don't forget happy hour, 2-for-1 margaritas, Taco Tuesdays, and on Mondays, kids eat free. El Jarrito Mexican Grill and Cantina. Always a delicious choice. J. Russell Kitchen and Restaurant Supply is the largest kitchen and restaurant supplier in North Louisiana and South Arkansas, and is open to the public. Your full kitchen resource.
Did you see the story about 2 local churches making unique donations to the Homeless Veterans Food Drive? See it now on myarklamis.com and the KTVE NBC10 KARD Fox 14 mobile app. Just click on the Did You See section under the News tab now. Did You See? Brought to you by Highgumble Eye Center.
The 4th of July sales event is here. So if you want low financing and big cash back on the SUVs #1 in brand loyalty, get a Ford. If you want to save more on the brand with more SUVs on the road today, get a Ford. If you want the best deal of the season, get a Ford. During the 4th of July sales event, get 0 for 60 plus $2,000 bonus cash and $2,000 competitive owner cash on Expedition and $750 appreciation cash for military and first responders.
Quick look at the 7-day forecast. Upper 80s for highs with scattered showers and storms back in the works for tomorrow and Sunday. This rain chance is much more isolated in nature as we work through next week and warming up. The heat and humidity prevailing with highs in the low to mid-90s and morning lows in the low 70s. Drink lots of water. Take some breaks if you feel woozy.
All right, that's the tips you need, and that is it for us. We'll see you back here on Monday.